Hey everybody, welcome into Siren Records Monterey. This is Fresh Catch Friday with Cass and Lorain, and Cass is here and I'm here. And I guess as usual, you've got your pick of the week and you want to start us off. What's good?
Okay, this week I got this new King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard album, Fishing for Fishies. King Gizzard, if you know me, you know that this is one of my favorite bands in the world, and I think they are one of the best rock bands in the world.
You say that about everything.
I think King Gizzard, though, this one's for real, alright? Like, this is actually one of the best bands out there. If you're not familiar with them, they're from Australia. They started around 2010, I'd say, and they really got pretty big in 2015 with their album Nonagon Infinity. And then in 2017 they put out 5 different albums, which has never been done before by any band. I thought it was going to be like a joke. No one thought they would actually do it, but they did it, and of course they needed a year off after that, because that's a lot of albums. So now they're back with this album, Fishing for Fishies. And King Gizzard, usually they have like concepts for their albums, you know, they'll stick to like a particular theme. And this one, I would say, has somewhat of a rough theme, definitely a lot of the lyrics and the imagery is based on like the economy and the earth slowly dying, so it's a very eco-friendly album, especially with the lyrics. And I didn't realize till recently, I was looking at the album cover, I think that gray at the top is supposed to be like smog, pollution, and then there's fire in the water, so very symbolic album cover. But anyway, so the sound of the album, however, is a very strange, swampy blues rock sort of sound, kind of like I think ZZ Top or like CCR.
Yeah, I kind of thought
like
it had like a 70s vibe kind of going, didn't you?
Yeah, so a little, I remember me and my friends heard the singles, we thought it was kind of a weird sound for them to go in, but after hearing the whole thing, it's pretty cool. It's a new sound, which I appreciate, and they're not doing like a rehash of an old sound they've already done, so that's cool. And then the last 2 tracks, however, they kind of switch it up and they go kind of weird electronic sort of stuff, and those 2 tracks are my favorite tracks on the album, especially Acarine. That is my favorite song on here. I think that is one of their best songs they've ever written. And pretty much King Giz, as usual. I mean, even though they're doing the swampy blues rock sound, they still got the 2 drummers, they still got the 3 guitarists, and Stu is still doing his very catchy vocals, his classic guitar licks that you will definitely get stuck in your head. However, the harmonica player Ambrose, he's definitely singing a lot more on this album. We kind of heard him start to sing more on their last album, Gumboot Soup, and he's playing a lot of harmonica, of course, because that fits with that swampy sound very well. So he's on a lot of the tracks on here in the forefront. So yeah, pretty much solid album from them. Nothing huge and grand and epic like Nonagon or anything, but it's definitely a great album from them nonetheless. It's $21.95 on Toxic Landfill vinyl. I don't know what that means, probably like green or something. That also fits in with the eco theme. So check it out, it's pretty cool.
How much is that?
$21.95.
Oh, okay, very nice. All right, so I have for you the great Local Natives. I couldn't really decide if this or the Foxygen was going to be my pick of the week. I know, and I was so on the fence, but anyway, I decided to go with Local Natives. There's a lot of great stuff out this week, by the way. This is called Violet Street, and it's on Loma Vista, and this is the 4th release from these Orange County guys, and it's a real return to form. I think people were a little bit worried because, you know, during the 2010s and the indie rock explosion, the thing that set them apart was from the folksy stuff was they had this very detailed drumming and these multifaceted vocal 3-part harmonies that they used to do. So that was like with Gorilla Manor, that was like 2009, end of 2009. That was like, I love that record too, and it really, they had a very like rowdy kind of sound and all this, and then their follow-up in 2013 was Hummingbird, and that was really dialed down because it had a much more emotional feel to it. I think it was because of Andy Hamm, their bassist, departed the group, and also their singer Kelsey Ayers, his mother passed away. So it was kind of much more of a heavy album, and but still really, really good, great lyrics and all that. And then the following, Sunlit Youth in 2016, was a little bit like they lost their way. There was a couple of moments on that record that were good, but it was almost like they were just trying to fit into a mold, and that's probably not the best thing for them. So I think a lot of local natives fans were kind of thinking, okay, are we done? But no, they are not done. This is as soon as you get in here with this, it's almost like those vocal harmonies come back, and the drumming is back, and it's so good. And they've really they're not as diluted as they were on the last one. So let me see here. Okay, the falsettos, like, you know, of Casey Ayers is just, you know, soaring away through the sky again. And anyway, they've got these two great tracks. One is called Shy, and the other one is Gulf Shores, and that might be kind of some of the best stuff that they've ever done. It's like beyond everything. So check this out. It's $21.95. It comes with a lyric book and a poster, and so worth every penny. So
right.
Yeah.
They were definitely a part of that big scene, and like I said, the 2009, 2010 was like Fleet Foxes, Grizzly Bear, them all doing that great like 3-part vocal.
Right, but
attack.
a lot of that other stuff is a little more folksy because that drumming is just so different with them. The way that it's just that machine gun kind of
sort of jungly drums.
But you know, everybody was a little bit worried, but thank goodness, back to form. We like that. So,
absolutely.
You got a few more things you want to showcase for the folks?
Let's see. First, I'll talk about this band, Fat White Family. This is a group from London. They are part of this very thriving London scene going on right now in the rock underground. It's like, I'd say it's them, Shame, what is that? HMLTD, that's right, and my favorite band, Black Midi. All those guys really making huge waves in the England scene right now, especially London. And I just saw Shame the other day, and I was talking to the singer about that scene over there, and he really appreciates how different all the bands are from that little scene. But they're all very close-knit, they're all friends. And Fat White Family, they are a little different from the rest in that the rest are a little more on the punk end of things, a little more noisy. These guys are a little chiller, sort of psychedelic rock sort of stuff. And this album is also different for them as well, and it's a bit more dancey, a little disco influenced. And we listened to it earlier. I definitely caught some, oddly enough, some Swans sounding vibes from it, and just the vocals definitely sounds a bit like Michael Gira. And but the actual instrumentals kind of reminded me of like Moon Duo or something, very simple, like electronic sort of beat, a little dark, and then some vocals on top of it, maybe some weird guitars here and there, some cool synth parts. But just a super cool, very interesting band, you know, nothing too like incredible or groundbreaking, but they're definitely, like I said, part of this scene that is very important in England right now. I definitely say England is killing it with the rock music at the moment. So check this out.
They always have.
That's true. They always are ahead of the game, I must
That's
say.
gold vinyl, huh?
Gold vinyl, yes.
Nice.
That is,
Oh.
put this in the middle. Got it. $21.95.
Okay. I don't know why you don't check your prices, dude, before you start yakking.
It's the one thing I always forget.
Oh, and here he goes, the Sacred Bones whore.
Sacred Bones release. I saw this. I jumped out of my seat.
You did.
So it's Marissa Nadler, Sacred Bones classic, Sacred Bones flagship artist. She is a dark folk sort of singer. She put out an excellent album, For My Crimes. I think that was last year, maybe early this year. But really good album, and already pretty hot off that album. She already has another one, but it's a collaborative album with Steven Brodsky from one of my favorite bands, Cave In. Excellent band. But I haven't heard much from Cave In a while. They're kind of like a space rock band. I know he's in a band called Mutoid Man these days, but this basically is a, it's kind of like a droney acoustic sort of project for both of them. It's like a little electric. They do a cover of a Guns N' Roses track. It's pretty cool. And it's on colored vinyl too. Clear and black marble vinyl. Let's see.
Bob Dylan, or I saw that over there.
Well, you can try recycling.
Yeah, it's cool. We went there also, but like any of the 45s, or I was looking for the record store.
I can't seem to find a price on it. But anyway, like I said, it's very quiet tracks. It's piano, and then she'll basically just sing over it. Steven doesn't do any vocals on it. I think he's just doing like the instrumentals for the most part, guitars, stuff like that. But pretty incredible cover, of course. Great artwork, and yeah, it's nothing too insane or experimental, but it's a very quiet, lush album from the both of them. So give it a listen. You can find it on there. I'm not sure how much it is. Yeah, no, it's not under Drone Flower.
Oh,
Maybe it's under Marissa and.
Nope.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Oh.
1995. So check it out. And finally, I have this new Alton Gun album. Geese or Getche, I don't know how you pronounce it. Alton Gun, I just found this band a couple weeks ago actually. One of our distributors, Red Eye, had their last album, came out last year on cassette. It just came out, called On. And I picked it up because the cover was really cool. And Alton Gun is like they're a Turkish sounding band. I guess they're from Amsterdam. And they kind of combine Turkish traditional music with modern day psychedelic sounds. Kind of like what Khruangbin's doing with Thai music, but yeah, like I said, Turkish. So pretty cool. Obviously that means the vocals very interesting. They have that sort of like waver to them that you would hear in Turkish music or just a lot of Middle Eastern music where they kind of hold that note and they kind of shake it. It's kind of hard to describe, but if you hear it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And the guitar is also microtonal guitars because, of course, in Middle Eastern music, they have different scales and different ways of playing guitar over there that's very different from the Western stylings. Not that similar, but the King Gizzard album, Microtonal, Flying Microtonal Banana, kind of introduced a lot of people to the sounds of microtones. It's basically these notes that, like I said, notes that just don't even exist really in American culture or Western music culture. So you're going to get some very interesting guitar parts in here. Pretty cool. And but that's about it as far as the Turkish influence. The drums, the bass, the structures of the songs, very Western psychedelic sounding. And the drums are super punchy, very groovy stuff on here. Super catchy vocals. I mean, of course, I don't know what exactly they're saying because I don't speak Turkish, but they're still really catchy. So definitely check these guys out. I have a feeling they're going to be pretty damn big. And they're also on ATO Records, which distributes King Gizzard stuff too, so they have a bit of connections
and
to
Jim
them.
James.
And Jim James. So check it out. These guys are going to be big, I think. And this is on cream-colored vinyl too for $19.95. So that is it for me.
Nice picks today.
Yeah,
but there's good stuff, right? Okay, so we're moving on to what could have been my pick of the week. This is Foxygen, and this is Seeing Other People on Jaguar. This is their final record for Jaguar, and it's their 5th full-length release from Jonathan Ratto and Sam France, and this is about starting a new chapter, and it's about, facing that ending and accepting that nothing is permanent. So while they'd say that they're not technically breaking up, Foxygen hasn't really ever been a band. It's been kind of a performance project. Mm-hmm. So, when I heard this today, I was like, oh man, it just makes me want to see them again. But they're not touring this. And so this has actually been finished for like about a year and a half. But when they said they were not going to tour it, I think it sort of maybe went on the back burner as not so important to get it out there. And while, there's no animosity with them and the Jaguar family, it's just that, this is their final record. And
man, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, well, they could always pick it up in another time, and that's why they're not completely shutting the door on this. Jonathan Ratto is very much in demand as a producer and a writer.
Yeah, you see him everywhere now as a producer. It's kind of crazy. So
he's busy, and Sam France is working on a solo record and a book, so that could be pretty interesting. One of my best concert shots of all time that I got was Sam France, in flight with his foot coming right in my face, and it's like my best photo I've ever taken of a live. Anyway, I love it so much. So anyway, this is it's definitely not settled as one image or sound. This is a breakup album. It's kind of sad. It's a lot of themes about loneliness and abandonment and that kind of thing. And it's very much Sam France feeling on the outside while Jonathan is in the studio with all of their cohorts. And, that comes up. But anyway, the final song on here is, it's called The Conclusion, very fittingly so. And it sort of wraps it all up, Great record though. This one here is the Deluxe Pink. It's a double LP, so you get the record plus the second disc is demos, and that's pretty great. It's gatefold jacket, the bonus LP, like I said, and it has a download. It's $22.95. If you want just the straight up black vinyl without that second disc, it's $19.95, and the cassette here for $8.99. So.
Nice.
Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Yeah, we love them. Okay, now we're moving on to Kevin Morby.
Nice.
And this one is, oh my God, and this is on Dead Oceans, which is a label that we love very much as well. And this is the 5th full-length studio release for this singer-songwriter, and it's a record that rarely falls short of creative arrangement, but ultimately I think that this is going to be more right out of the gate for devotees and not newbies, you know, if you're not familiar with him. So that's, it's gone into it's lyrical themes that are repeated and explored, but it's modern day relationships with faith, whatever shape that may take for you. He's definitely at the top of his game, though, and it's an album about spirituality and the things that make us human. And this is on limited edition opaque sky blue vinyl, and it also has a download. It's $21.95, and also on cassette for $8.99. Whoops.
Excellent.
There we go. Can you see that? Okay. So. Good. Did I mention though, of course, I think this goes without saying on this Foxygen cassette, you're not going to get that demos, the bonus stuff on this either. So, okay. And for my last pick, I've got Pure Bathing Culture. This is Night Pass, and it's on Infinite Companion. This is their first record on the Infinite Companion label. They've had 2 prior releases. They are from Portland. They are a duo, and it's made up of Sarah Vesperil and Daniel Hindman. And Night Pass is, like I said, their 3rd studio album. They've had struggles like many indie bands who don't fit into one of the major narratives of the scene of the scenes of this decade. There's so many scenes, right?
Yes.
And so, you know, they really fought to reclaim their love of music, fought to be able to keep making records. This is like dream pop. That moves into soft rock, and a couple of sounds sound like 80s jams, and there's still plenty of mystical imagery throughout this record though, and it's like layered music, so you know it would be, if you like that kind of thing, it's you're gonna love this. Limited edition transparent purple vinyl, $19.95, and that's a banger.
Shoot, all right.
All right.
Great stuff, like you said.
Yeah, there's a lot of good things, and okay, let's move this over for you. And we'll blast through this. Okay. I'm counting on you to have this in.
It should be. I believe it is.
All right.
Online.
So let's see. The first one is going to be Balin. Thrilled to be here. This is on clear vinyl, 1995.
Yep.
Okay. Then we have Black Bear Anonymous on red vinyl. This is 2 LPs. Whoa, $37.95. Okay. Born of Osiris, Simulation on white vinyl for $21.95. That's much more responsible. Okay, and then we have JJKL Stay Around. This is an LP and CD in this pack, and this is $25.95. And of course, JJKL is no longer with us, so I'm assuming this is just stuff that was from the vault, yeah?
I did not know.
What does that sticker on the front say?
Oh,
Unreleased songs, yep. Okay.
a posthumous release, I suppose.
But just on black vinyl, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now we've got Catfish and the Bot, The Balance. This is $22.95.
Sure.
Okay. All right. We've got the amazing Nick Cave and Warren Ellis, Assassination of Jesse James original soundtrack. This is $22.95. Absolutely, yes. I could have actually talked about that for a long time, but
Yeah, no, I didn't know.
Okay, Disaster Piece, Under the Silver Lake. This is also a soundtrack, and this one is 2 LPs that is $28.95.
Yeah, he's killing it with the soundtracks. Disaster Piece. I don't know if you've heard any of his soundtracks before. They're all very good.
Well, now we've got Guided by Voices. This is Warp and Woof, and this is $20.95.
Their 50th or something.
Yeah, I
album.
know. I mean, those guys, geez. But you know, having said that, this is where King Gizzard's going to be at
true.
one stage. They're super productive, and they're going to have like
yeah,
this
I know. It's already their
catalog
14th
of
album,
yeah.
So.
Oh, and this is a reissue, and this is a great record. This is King Crimson Beat. This is on 200 gram, $21.95, and that's, showcases the beautiful talents of Adrian Belew on guitar. And wow, what a great record! I mean,
I didn't know you were a King Crimson fan.
Well, I like this record, and I like Discipline. I think those two really are just great. When they got Adrian, I thought, yeah, pretty good. But
I don't think I've heard this one.
wow, it's really, really good. Okay. And now we've got Reba McEntire, Stronger Than the Truth, and this is $23.95. Okay. Oh, but is that a double?
That we get a copy of this.
Is that a double? It's a double, right?
It is in fact.
180 gram vinyl first run. Okay. So yeah, Run Don't Walk. It's $23.95 for a double. Those other guys were like what, $37 for their double? So
yeah, I know.
geez, see? Value for money. Now we have Moody Blues, live at the BBC. This is 1967 to 1970. My notes say just colored vinyl. Is there anything on there that would tell us what color that's going to be?
It does not. It's a surprise.
Let's think it's blue. I think that would not be blowing life at all. 3 LPs for $44.95. See, even that seems more reasonable than that. I don't know what was going on there. All right, now we got Josh Ritter, Fever Breaks.
I did mess up. No Josh Ritter.
Okay, Josh Ritter is still in the box in the other room, and he's going to be coming out of the box at $20.95, okay? Now we got Slick Rick, Great Adventures of, 2 LPs, $22.95, so if you're getting your 80s dance moves on, there you go. What, you don't...
Oh, look at the price on the double LP. Anyway, this is the, I believe this is the black one, but we do have a double LP on blue vinyl.
Yeah, the double LP.
Spend a small fortune.
$89.95. Is that right?
Be a typo or
I was thinking it has to be.
Right. That cannot be right.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's.
Well, we'll double check that for you
just
because that seems insane. Nobody's gonna pay for that. But anyway, if you feel like getting your 80s dance floor jams going, there's Slick Rick for you.
Sweet.
Now we've got another soundtrack. Cast to Pee-wee's Big Adventure. This is like, Danny Elfman music. Danny Elfman from Oingo Boingo and mini soundtracks and all that stuff. Another really very productive guy. This is $19.95, okay?
Looks like some nonsense.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
You never watched that show?
No.
Really?
I did not.
Sometimes Cass is sort of... Okay, now we've got Twisted Generation. Is it Twisted Generation?
Twisted, and then
it's Generation Nightmare. Okay, this is $24.95.
kind of something there. If you can see it. Twisted. Yeah.
Okay, now we've got Waves, Beach Fossils, Enters.
Next to you.
Oh, it's the 7-inch.
Pretty cool combo.
I like that artwork. That's good artwork. Okay, so Waves, Beach Fossils, Enter Still, Silver Tongue on red vinyl, 7-inch, $10.95. Okay, and now we've got Cassandra Wilson, Glamored on Blue Note Tone Poet Series, 180 gram, 2 LPs, $44.95. Woo!
All right.
Okay, so yeah, we'll post the list down below, and yeah, if you guys haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell next to it, and you will be sent an email every time we do our uploads on Fridays. Other than that, next week we're going to have Tommy Pieper sitting in for Cass because Cass is on his way to, yes, he's going to be at Shaky Knees and he's going to have a great time. And your one thing that you have to do is get me footage of Jim James. And if you don't even bother coming back. You're so fired.
Don't worry, no, I'll try and provide a clip of all the best sets or something. I'll be posted on the Instagram.
So that'll be good. But yes, Tommy Pieper will be sitting in and we'll see how that goes. Yeah, and then we're open this weekend from 12 to 4, Saturday, Sunday.
Small announcement. Chuck told me yesterday we're going to start staying open until 6 on Saturdays.
Starting this
12
Saturday?
Till 6.
Starting tomorrow?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Perhaps.
So,
Sure.
yeah, you'll have a cast of thousands. You've got Eric, you've got Jordan, you've got Ashley, and sometimes Phil, and they can answer your questions about things that you need. And if you are a person who's watching on YouTube and you're not a local yokel, you can shop at our sister site, which is called recordmule.com, and everything, all this and what else we have in store is there for you. You can buy it and we'll ship it to you and do all that, okay? So, when are you actually leaving?
This Thursday, actually. I'll be gone until Monday, so
okay.
It's a little mini vacation.
It's going to be a great thing. Who are you most looking forward to seeing?
It's a good question. I think definitely want to see Idols. I've seen them before. Definitely want to see the OCs again.
Okay.
It's mostly bands I've seen before, but I definitely think
All
there's
right.
a lot of great sets.
Well, don't come home without JJ. Okay. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you.